Okay, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Please like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe button right here. Thank you. Good morning once again, and welcome to EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Today, the 18th day of October 2024. Today is a Friday, and the time is a minute past the hour of 7. It's time for newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers. But before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us. You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on The Guardian, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Daily Post, The Nation, This Day, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at the Nigerian Tribune newspapers. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080 6599. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Family of 2-month-old girl seeks 9 million naira for heart surgery. Registrar denies diesel for bail allegation, cites power outage at Oka Federal High Court. Imo police begin trial of 4 officers for alleged extortion. Motorists, commuters urge Lagos authorities to repair dilapidated Aswani Road. Group laments lack of follow-through in gender-based violence cases. CNG car explosion injures 3 in Edo. Nupeng mourns victims of Jigawa petroleum truck explosion. Waste. Lagos to convert Olusosun Solus landfills into treatment facilities. National Air Force airlifts First Lady's relief materials to Borno flood victims. Non-governmental organization secures release of 398 inmates, highlights reintegration challenges. Navy arrests 2 suspected smugglers with 350 kg bags of fertilizers. Federal Road Safety Corps partners National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to curb drunk driving in Castina. Police arrest POS operator for allegedly aiding 4 million naira ransom payment. National Air Force to acquire 50 new aircraft, boost counter-insurgency operations. Okada rider dies in Lagos accident. Court remands man 36 over alleged murder. PCNGI calls for safety compliance after Benin CNG incident. Court to hear NMPCL Staff Cooperative Society leadership dispute November 8. No life lost in Lagos. Ibadan Expressway tanker explosion. FRSC. Just Disco. Dedicates 76 feeders to Band A clients. BBBF awards scholarships to 611 pupils, students in Para. Taraba Assembly advances bill to establish Disability Commission. MBR set to induct PMAN members into the Nigerian Books of Record Hall of Fame. 105 dead, 55 injured in Jigawa tanker explosion as a resident scoop fuel. Family of slain Delta graduate demands justice. Customs uncover 1.2 billion naira codeine in 4 containers at Lagos port. EFCC witness EFCC witness narrates how suspect allegedly defrauded son-in-law. Lasema urges collaboration with education sector to reduce disaster risk for youths. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps urges youths to safeguard national assets infrastructure. First Baptist Church Kosofe marks centenary with great celebration. Good Samaritan seeks help to locate family of man in critical condition. Lagos trains principals, head teachers on safety in schools undergoing construction. That's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. From the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to the leadership newspaper. Oshun Monarch Oluwo shares cash rise to aged suspect. Oshun Monarch Oluwo shares cash rise to aged subjects. NEDC ends 1 year youth against substance abuse campaign in Borno. Gowon, Obasanjo, Jonathan, First Lady Tinubu to grace 11th ABLI leadership confirmed in Nigeria. Senate affirms support for Akpabio, passes vote of confidence. NEDC ends with taking list. Still on the stories making the headlines on the leadership newspaper this morning. Center Lords Kiamo for reforms in aviation sector. NICO tech firm to unveil digital repository of Nigeria's cultural heritage. KB College students set provost residence ablaze over alleged 23 million naira extortion. In Sweden, Chetima woos investors, secures multi-million dollar commitments. Healthy lifestyle tips. Israel upbeat on Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar's death in Gaza offensive. Crowd throngs Apostle Suleiman's crusade in Cameroon. CNG is safe. PCNGI reacts to Edo explosion. CBN records $600 million remittance inflow through MITO's reform. First Lady Chetima's wife donates 250 million naira to 5,000 Bronu female traders. Meta removes 1,600 Facebook groups admission seekers who will be 16-year-old by August 30. JAM tells institutions. INEC fixes November 8, 2025 for Anambra governorship post. Kenya's deputy president hospitalized amid impeachment trial drama. Russian African cooperation on the rise, says Meskabnovo. Tinubu's neoliberal policies can't achieve anything in 40 years. Adebayo. MTN Foundation awards 2.5 billion naira scholarships to Nigerian students. World Bank, Bauchi governor disagree over Tinubu's policies amid economic hardship. Lucky Eke gets Musician of the Year nomination after normally hit. Ondo 2024. Translate your support to vote. Ayedatiwa begs supporters. 2024 NMPP ready for coalition to oust APC, says National Chairman. Panel seeks overhaul of US Secret Service over assassination attempt on Trump. CBAN initiates reforms, expels members for code of conduct violation. Music promoter Don Jazzy donates 100 million naira to Very Dark Man's non-governmental organization. Group accuses LRCN boss of 6 offenses. Petitions Reps Committee. NSIB begins investigation into Jigawa tanker explosion. Plateau APC announces boycott of local government polls will run. Defamation. Hold Very Dark Man responsible, but risky, tells Falana. Files. Nigeria to receive first shipment of malaria vaccines Thursday. Southern Africa crisis. UNAA President General calls for solidarity action. Scores injured as CNG-powered vehicle explodes in Edo. Cryptocurrency, new technologies for street fight against financial crimes. NFIU. Court jails 6 for internet fraud in Kwara. Kamala Harris promises clean break from Biden in very Fox News interview. Imo police arrest 4 officers. Begin orderly room trial. Bangladesh court issues arrest warrant for exiled ex-leader Sheikh Hasina. China court sends 15 to jail over building collapse. Italy prohibits couples from seeking surrogacy overseas. Hackathon 2024 NITDA ECOWAS boost youth capacity on cybersecurity. Governor Sule. Governor Sule cheers Nasarawa United to 3-0 victory over Abia Warriors in Lafia. Nadal confirms retirement date. Super Eagles detention. Nigeria didn't apologize to Libya. Tuga. FIRS defends Tinubu's 4 fiscal policies. Tax reform bills. 2009 agreement. Varsity unions condemn federal government's committee. World Food Day. Stakeholders call on federal government to halt GMO adoption. Still on the stories making the headlines on the leadership newspaper this morning. How Niger efforts will boost food security. Bago. Nigeria among nations facing acute poverty, says United Nations. Digital cultural platform. Federal government reaffirms support for Dudu plugs. Niger Delta Development Commission seeks partnership with First Lady to empower women, youths. Federal government signs aviation resolution to ease lease of aircraft. We are in talks with Dangote. Fuel price likely to reduce. Ipman. Customs intercepts 125,527 pieces of arms ammunition in 6 years. North Korea designates South Korea as hostile state. Senator Barrow mourns Liberty TV's Senate correspondent Mohamed Adamu. Iheanacho Ejuke resumed training with Sevilla for Barcelona clash. At International Trade Centers event, stakeholders pledge to enhancing economic growth across Africa. Court remands 4 cyber cafe operators for alleged forgery impersonations in Abia. That's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. You are listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI1035 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-6579-6599. From the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to the Vanguard newspaper. PDP will win Ondo despite leadership crisis. Southwest Party share. Governor election. Ondo is not Edo or Lagos. NMPP. Governors have hijacked local government funds. Imo stakeholders. Federal government reforms not working. Bauchi governor counters World Bank. Why Naira is the worst performing currency. Crashes further to 1,710 Naira per dollar. Flooding. Relocate from river banks. Federal government warns Nigerians. Headsman's menace. We are determined to enforce anti-open grazing law. Delta government. Zamfara kidnap. We ate leaves. Drank filthy waters to survive. Akwa Ibom S corps members. Hunger. Bala Muhammad says reforms not working. Labour Party members jubilate as INEC obeys court order, invites Abure. World Bank to Nigerians. Don't oppose. Reverse current economic reforms. Badu accuses officers of gun sales to criminals. 2 billion naira Okuama killing suit. Go and resolve this. Don't waste taxpayers' money. George. Nigerian woman gives birth after 28 years of waiting. Winners Chapel. I won't start my own church after retirement. Bishop Thomas Aremu. Tragedy in Jigawa. Petrol tanker explosion kills 147. Zamfara kidnap. We 8 lives. We've taken this. And that's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Vanguard newspaper, will flip over to the Punch newspaper. Fubara warns judges over conflicting judgments. Foundation awards scholarships to 50 students. Group warns Aromula rants legacy sustained in Ilesha. Production firm backs women empowerment conference. Oyandan. Lagos state government begins monitoring, urges residents to relocate. Oyebanji signs anti-land grabbing law, two others. Edo transition teams hold inaugural meeting today. Harvesters promises continuous free transportation in Lagos. New education varsity to address teacher shortage, says Bago. Falana falls Abokoba's claims on EFCC legal status. Ronu records 34 deaths in 3 boat accidents. Flood. NHYPPADEC begins assessment in 513 Kogi communities. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning, Marburg. Federal government activates declaration forms for inbound passengers. 1.1 billion people live in multi-dimensional poverty worldwide. United Nations. Skyrocketing inflation. Nigerians lament hunger. World Bank says 129 million trapped in poverty. OPS carpets Tinubu reforms. Civil society organizations demand the cabinet checkup. Fuel price hike piles pressure on Yobe residents. Police set to arraign 1,274 suspected criminals in Kano. Niger has overtaken Benue as food basket commissioner. Non-governmental organization trains Adamawa journalists in conflict reporting. SCI supports Unimade with 14 million naira equipment for weather monitoring. Non-governmental organization backs 1,200 Taraba residents with free medical treatment. Gombe, local government compiles residents' demands for 2025 budget. Nasarawa stakeholders hail non-governmental organization for promoting legal education justice. Group urges stakeholders to prioritize women in peace process. Court halts railway construction in Kano. Northern elders confident of Tinubu's ability to tackle insecurity. APGA, opposition, ready as INEC holds Anambra poll November 2025. Uni Ilorin produces 256 first-class graduates. JAMB extends under 16 admission deadline to August 2025. Lawyer tackles Abakoba on EFCC legality. Cholera death toll. Cholera death toll hits 378. MPOS 102. Nigerian Center for Disease Control. That's the much you can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. From the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to the Daily Post newspaper. Nigerian government announces arrival of malaria vaccines and names a pilot states. Jigawa explosion. We will assist Majai town. Nigerian government pledges. We thought I was after him. Ojikalu opens up on fight with Obasanjo. He thought I was after him. Ojikalu opens up on fight with Obasanjo. I earn total of 14 million naira monthly from Senate, not enough to buy petrol. Ojikalu. No senator has official car. Oji Uzokalo. Hardship. Tinubu drives around Abuja at night. He knows Nigerians are suffering. Oji Uzokalo. Benue government rescues trafficked children from Edo. Ekiti government commences allocation of 6 month rent-free market stores to traders. No dispute arising from emergency of new king, Delta chiefs. No politician can dismantle weakest structure in rivers or culture. 85,000 naira minimum wage unexpected. Lagos Union reacts. Security organizations must work together to defeat crime in Niger. Police. That's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. Federal government's Northeast Initiative, rejigging education. Teledoc app, debuts to improve healthcare delivery. Nigeria's laundry industry can drive economic growth. 10,000 council residents enjoy free healthcare. Experts seek move to credit-based economy. Business aviation firm to unveil cruise outfit to fashion event. Businessman sues FCMB for unpaid commission. Healer to hold crusade in Abuja. Ex-Methodist prelate seeks Kano's release. Ex-President Jonathan blames judiciary for crisis in PDP. Weakest political structure in Rivers intact, says Okocha. Bandits got weapons from corrupt security men, says NSA. Edun, 10 trillion naira savings from subsidy removal for infrastructure. Others, town planner gets institute fellowship. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Federal government gets 846,000 doses of malaria vaccine. Federal government asks River Benue, Niger residents to relocate. As senator, I earn 14 million naira monthly, says Oji Kalo. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning, NGE's media workshop to hold in Owerri, October 23rd. Falana falls Abokoba's position on constitutionality of EFCC. Investing in people, investors can lead to growth. Lagos firms partner to empower indigent traders. Pirates raise monkeypox awareness at markets. Kanu community gets solar borehole, electric tricycle. United Nations GA79, Lagos advances agenda on attaining SDGs. 64 countries that outlawed homosexuality. What end of FX subsidy implies. Babalola seeks inclusion of private universities in student loan. Crude oil production dips by 2,639 lbd in December. Crude oil production dips by 26,000 391 BD in September. Italy prohibits couples from traveling abroad for surrogacy. Jonathan blames judiciary for PDP's crisis. Lagos urges lowland communities to relocate over Oyan Dam release. PDP Senate caucus asks feuding parties to sheath sword. FAAC shares 1.298 trillion naira to federal, states, local government areas for September 2024. Independent candidacy bill recommitted in reps. That's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to These Day newspaper. World Bank to federal government conduct audit to reconcile what NMPC owes a federation. Sanwo-Olu, Anyoku family, others extol Iwayan's virtues at tribute night in Sweden. Shetima woos investors to Nigeria's growing business climate. Oyebanji signs anti-land grabbing bill, two others into law. Still on the stories making the headlines on this day newspaper, the House of Misplaced Priorities. Oyebanji will take in this. INEC between progress and criticisms. World Bank to federal government. Ogun River flooding. Relocate in your own interest. Lagos warns residents. Dangote's wealth doubles to $28 billion on new 650,000 barrel per day oil refinery. Transport Summit. Amechi laments abandonment of railway projects. Tinubu Dangote to headline 2024 Diaspora Investment Summit, says Dabiri Erewa. Aviation Working Group removes Nigeria from watch list, increases her rating to 75.5%. Rescue Nigerians judiciary now. Niger Delta activist urges Tinubu. EDSG Opeboro's team to hold inaugural joint transition committee meeting. Quarter 1 2024 economic turmoil stagnates Nigeria air passenger traffic. Access Bank partners Saltinjin to unveil win bundle airtime to win. NSIB renews a memorandum of understanding with Unilag on science laboratory. Ethiopian Airlines to extend the new aircraft to Lagos fleet. Affirms boss loses brother Obaseki condole family. Stakeholders urges federal government to develop national policy on blue economy to drive economic growth. You are listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI1035 FM. When I go for a short break, when we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on this day newspaper. Please stay with us.
EBEONADI1035FM. When I was telling the ATJ radio drama, Erico. ATJ radio drama, Erico, Ghana Dialogue every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. with broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Yang mau dia kalau if you move by finish of the
Amara mi dre wa di la mo. Ko mo kuna ka do dre na ma ko na ni ko na ye. Ke ka ku ke wona na ma ku na ya mo le.
Ekokwana ka call dinka call How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on EBEONADI FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be.
Our government,
Whatever. Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community. Street report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the root of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanishku, KCS number the force every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on EBEONADI 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On Emas and EBEONADI corner 24/7, 24/7. Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at EBEONADI 103.5 FM with Martin Ifanishku is here every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to EBEONADI 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
Hello, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday is the most favorable day of the week. So hook up with DJ Easy every Friday by 9 p.m. on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. This is a program where we bring on to you entertainment and the best of fun and also give you the privilege to make some music requests. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Don't miss this every Friday night by 9 p.m. with DJ Easy on EBEONADI 103.5 FM of the Hello, Friday.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-6579-6599. We are on to this day newspaper. World Bank to federal government conduct audit to reconcile what NMPC owes Federation. Economion over Nigeria-Italy flight route. Stakeholders urge federal government to develop national policy on blue economy to drive economic growth. Affirms boss loses brother. Obaseki condoles family. Nigeria exits watch list as aviation rating rises to 75.5%. Oyebanji signs anti-land grabbing bill, 2 others into law. The House of Misplaced Priorities, INEC between progress and criticisms, play 2 assemblies long walk to full-fledged capacity, Rivers and Emperor's Road to Harakiri. As stakeholders go for the soul of PDP, Shetima's bipartisan take on Mba's efforts in Enugu, DNA, and the crisis of paternity. OGSIEC clears Oyebola Sodipo orders for November 16th local government election in Ogun. Monkey Shoulder. Worldwide FM celebrates Jazz Ho's legacy grassroots music culture in Lagos. Oil Magnet. Akinduru sues EFCC, demands 5 billion naira for unlawfully declaring him wanted. That's the much we can take from this day newspaper this morning. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. FAAC, federal government, states to FAAC, federal government, states, local governments share 1.298 trillion naira September revenue hardship, while federal government shouldn't reverse ongoing economic reforms. World Bank. How weak naira is advantageous to Nigeria, CBN governor. How weak naira is advantageous to Nigeria, CBN governor. Sokoto government laws AGILE's provision of wash facilities in schools. Yahya Sinwar. Hamas leader's death, a good day for Israel, US, Biden. Reps call for upward review of BPP budgetary allocation. Everything you need to apply for Ogun Tish internship program, Ogun government. Senators pass vote of confidence in Akpabio. PDP crisis. Senate cackles sues for peace. Wike will never leave PDP. Rivers APC chairman. Tanker explosion. Sanwo-Olu commiserates with Jigawa government, victims' families. Federal government weapons used by terrorists, bandits, NSA, Rivadu. Federal government commences a distribution of 1,500 CNG tricycle to cooperatives. Federal government restates commitment to poverty alleviation. Take advantage of federal government's interest-free loan. Rector urges new students. FAAC, we've taken this. Delta government optimistic of completing Obo River Bridge project in 2025. CP, Niger, receives a newly deployed Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps commandant. Beware of fake cylinders. A presidential CNG initiative urges compliance after Benin City incident. PDP mourns Jigawa tanker explosion victims. That's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning, and that's the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080 65796599. We'll now flip over to our WhatsApp portal for reactions. On our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have a message coming from Agonabo. He's joining us from Ofa, Aguluzibo. He says, Insurgency saga, filthy jet fighter purchased by Air Force to combat insurgency is a welcome development. Okay. Fighting jet fighter purchased by Air Force is to combat insurgency is a welcome development, but let it be used, as they said, not to use it to commit genocide against fundamental human rights and kill masses. Malaria palaver in Nigeria, the drugs to be that was brought in may last till next year is very laughable. Nigeria is a country where a lot of promise is made but can't be actualized. Tinubu saga. This statement by Tinubu is hate speech against Nigerians as he ever addressed. As he never addressed on the issue of PMS, electric bill, kingpin, terrorists, Fulani militia, and the farmers. Every promise made on top of all these things is dead on arrival. We are watching as things unfold. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Agunabo, joining us from Mofa Aguluzibo. We also have a message. This one is coming from Chinedu Oneka, pastor, and he says, Niger State, have overtaken Benue State as food basket, in as much as I don't believe is true. But I commend the Niger State for at least competing to overtake Benue State. That's a good development. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. This one is coming from Waloto Patrick from Monteja, and he says for police to arrest a POS operator for facilitating a ransom payment is very commendable. But I think there is much that needed to be done. I am of the opinion that the federal government, through the National Assembly, should endeavor to enact a law that will regulate the activities of POS operators across the country so as to checkmate the incessant reports of POS operators connivance with the kidnappers and other criminalities in the country. This is coming from Waloto Patrick from Monteja. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Well, with that message from Waloto Patrick from Monteja, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning. Once is 7 o'clock, so keep it 8. And don't touch the dial of EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Once is 8:20 this morning. We'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a wonderful morning. Happy weekend.
EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Napapoa production. Police for my business. When I was telling the AJ radio drama, AJ radio drama, Eolico, Ghana Dialogue every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. with broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, EBEONADI 103.5 FM. If you move by finish your business,
Amara mi rewa di la amo. Kuma kuna ka do do na ra ko na ni ri ko na ye. Nke ka ku ke bona na ma wu kuna ya mo le.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on EBEONADI FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be.
Government,
Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street report is here with hardcore journalists to get to the root of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin Ifanishku, TCS number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on EBEONADI 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds in your face. On Amazon EBEONADI corner 24/7, 24/7.
Ineged EBEONADI FM 103.5.
Hello, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday is the most favorable day of the week. So hook up with DJ Easy every Friday by 9 p.m. on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. This is a program where we bring unto you entertainment and the best of fun, and also give you the privilege to make some music requests. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Don't miss this every Friday night by 9 p.m. with DJ Easy on EBEONADI 103.5 FM.
Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at EBEONADI 103.5 FM with Martin Ifeanyi is here every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to EBEONADI 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
Okay, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe button right here. Thank you.